Welcome back, man. We back here. We're doing the preview for the Browns versus the Green Bay Packers. Let's get into it, man. Let's start with the injury report for game statuses. Let's start with the Green Bay Packers. Um, Aaron Banks, their guard that they got from San Francisco. Uh, no injury status for him. Nate Hobbs, neither him. Josh Jacobs, no injury status. Tucker Kraft is going to play after his scare earlier in the week. And then also Jaden Reed's out. He's going on IR. And Zach Tom is questionable, one of their tackles with an oblique injury. Um, I think the biggest news here for them is Tucker Kraft is playing. He coming off a monster game last week against the Commanders and probably is going to be the most favorable and reliable target from Jordan Love against the Browns and really moving forward with Jaden Reed being out. Also, Zach Tom, whether or not he plays is going to be super important. Zach Tom, I believe, just recently got an extension. Obviously, going against this Browns defensive line, which has been its strength, and then with Miles Garrett, who's arguably playing like the best player in the world right now, it's going to be really important that he plays. So that's something to look out for. We love Miles Garrett against any tackle. We more than love Miles Garrett against backup tackles. So, excuse me. So on the Brown side of things, Joe Bitonio's questionable with the back, hasn't practiced all week, but the vet that he is, he could play. My thoughts there is I wouldn't mind seeing your backup guards. I'm fully in the realm of play the young guys, see what happens. Uh, Tevin Jenkins came over from Chicago, would be your starting left guard, I believe. He was up and down in the preseason, but his time in Chicago kind of up and down, but mostly up when he was healthy. So I wouldn't mind seeing him play. I think Batonio was graded fairly well via PFF. It's kind of what we can go off of. But from an eye test standpoint, at least what I have paid attention to, I feel like he's getting beat more than I would like. So, but obviously, Joe, legend. So if he is ready to go and can play, so be it. But if he needs to come out, I got some faith in Tevin Jenkins. DeAndre Carter, concussion. He's listed as questionable. He's a reliable returner. He's not super explosive. We did elevate Caden Davis. He might take some of those duties. Surprised it wasn't Gage Larvinack, but whatever. We'll see. Nothing burger there really. As long as it's not Isaiah Bond, he didn't look comfortable back there for me. So yeah. It's Jack Conklin, elbow. Uh, the videos I seen him getting in the stands look real tender. Real tender. I think it's his right elbow. He's listed as questionable. He was limited all week. You need Jack. Jack, all pro tackle. He hasn't played like an all pro as of late. However, he is a lot better than any of your backup tackles. And he was probably your best offensive lineman in 2024. So that's huge. Obviously, Rashawn Gary on one side, Michael Parsons on another side, a really good defensive line from Green Bay. We need Jack. Mike Hall's out still. Andrew Smith, Smith, who, what? Um, Left calf. Don't know. They say he's going to play. However, I don't know. This gives me flashback to 2018, um, with Zane Gonzalez, who was playing through a growing injury, and we lost against the Saints. Which, looking forward, I think we went what 8-7 and no, we went like 7-8-1 that year. That could have been a big deal. Uh, but he's playing, and also the Browns worked out. Um, Matthew Wright, who spent some time in San Fran, I believe last year, to be the kicker, but Andrew Andre Smith, I'm sorry, I'm butchering his name. He is going to be available. So let's get into, man, keys of the game. The keys and things I want to look into and what's going to be super important this week. Number one. winning the turnover battle. The Browns haven't won the turnover battle since 2024, somewhere like week 12, something like that. It's hard in the NFL to win any game when you lose a turnover battle. Now, specifically when you don't have a quarterback like a Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes. Even harder when you got a Joe Flacco. Um, the Browns got to find a way to force some turnovers. The defense, otherwise, has been pretty good. Jordan Love gonna throw you a couple. You gotta catch him. I don't think Josh Jacobs fumbles a whole lot, at least not in Green Bay. Uh, so when they throw you the ball, you gotta make a play. Cam Mitchell was bad last week. But you saw him punching at the ball, forced a fumble last week. We didn't recover. Fumbles tend to be fluky like that, man, but keep playing aggressively and win the turnover battle, which leads to the offensive side of the ball. Run the ball, stay out of third and long. Um, if you can average 3 carries on first and second down, that's a place you can live in. Obviously, you're not gonna run on first and second every series. However, 3 and 3, that gets you to a short third and four. We can live in third and four and be just fine. So obviously Quinshawn Judson's gonna be very important. Uh he got his first full week of practice. I expect him to be getting close to 20 touches. So super important there. Let's see him make some plays and see what he can do. Obviously, you mix in Dylan Sampson. Obviously, as much as people don't like it, you still go to mix in some Jerome Ford, just to see what you can do. Trying to get those guys in space to make some plays. Um, Something else, you got to attack downfield. Um, Now, with caution, because Xavier McKinney is one of your best, when we talk about turnovers, one of the best ball hawking safeties of the league. I think he had like 7 picks last week, or last year, rather. But you got to push them linebackers back. You got to ease up. Um, got to lighten up that box. You got to be able to do that. So running the ball, pushing those, and then also play action shots, and then most importantly, catch the effing ball. We got to see. Judy, you are due. You're due for a game. Um, he's been very confident, which you want from your wide receiver one. But you got to make the plays, man. Tilly got 2 tugs already. Um, and Fannis looked like the best receiver on the team. So you got to make some plays, uh, big plays, big third downs. You got to bring them in. A touchdown would be really nice, specifically for my fantasy football teams. I'm putting you on the bench on teams. That's how bad it's been. You on the bench. I drafted you a lot, so we got to see something happen. Um, Defensively, uh, Matt LaFleur is one of the better play callers in the league, so he's going to be creative. He's going to attack you the same way that Baltimore has attacked you. What you saw a lot last week is what you saw in the playoff game against Houston 2 years ago, um, where they used motion to manipulate your slot corner. The play I remember specifically was Nico Collins. He was out wide left. They motioned him in to the slot, and then he took off on Greg Newsome for what was almost a touchdown. So, with that being said, they did the same thing. I think that either to Miles Harden this year. Um, but that sounds like, and a lot of what happened last week was lack of knowing your assignments. That you cannot have. If you get beat because the other guy is better, that just is what it is. Personnel is what it is at this part of the season. However, if you get beat because you're out leveraged, because you're not knowing your assignments, completely unacceptable. And you know Jim Schwartz don't play that. So I would like to see how they maneuver moving forward and seeing if they make the right adjustments and their mind is in the right place. This is specifically talking to Cam Mitchell and Miles Harden. Um, so yeah, playing assignment football and then dominate up front. Because the Green Bay's defensive line gonna have something to say. So the Browns defensive line needs to have something to say. Miles has played like the best player in the league. Definitely the best defensive player in the league so far this year. Expect more of that. Mason Graham is coming along. Malik Collins is hooping. Um, and then also quiet as kept. Isaiah McGuire hooping. I thought he was really good last year, specifically towards the end. Um, I look for him to have a turnover this week. He had like two, maybe three forced fumbles last year, big ones too. I know he had one against Cincy. He had the one that went back for a touchdown against the Raiders last year in Vegas. So I expect him to make a big play this week. But yeah, keys to the game: win the turnover battle, uh, win the turnover battle, limit the explosives, but play assignment ball, and then also, um, be able to run the ball. And I think the Browns should be able to stay competitive in this game. Now, am I picking the Browns to win this game? I am not. Uh, I don't think they're able to score enough. They just haven't been, and I also don't believe they're going to give up a lot of points. But I could see this being like 20 to 10, 17 to 10, something like that. But if they win the turnover battle, they will indeed win this game. But those are the keys to the game, man. If you got any keys, drop them down in the comments. Give me a holler, give me a shout, and we out.